David Thornton here. Thanks for stopping by At Home Fine Eating. I want to show you today how to make my shrimp and broccoli Asian cuisine. Man, I love it. Let's go over the ingredients real quick. For our vegetables, of course, we're going to use one medium small head of broccoli. Now, you need a medium to a small onion or half of a large one. This one had some bad spots on it, so I'm just going to use the whole thing. It's about the size of a medium. And I've got half a carrot. I've already cut a few grooves in it. We're going to cut it up like pinwheels. Got some mushrooms. Got some minced garlic. I didn't have any fresh garlic, so I'm just going to use the minced garlic. All right, for our sauce, we're going to use a can of chicken broth. I've got some oyster sauce. Now I've got two different kinds of sesame oil, and you can use one or the other or both. The regular sesame oil I'm going to put on the shrimp, but I'm going to do the cooking the vegetables and the meat in the toasted sesame oil. If you just have either one of those, that'll work perfect. Now I've also got a little vegetable oil to help with the frying, some soy sauce, salt and pepper, cornstarch. Now I've got a couple of plates over here for serving. I've got a strainer to strain the broccoli in, and I've got another dish to put the shrimp in once they are done. Now over here I've got my wok. Now in the back there I've already got a pot full of rice cooked. So I've got this is one cup of rice, which is plenty. Actually, it's too much. I got my wok, and I got a small saucepan to boil the broccoli in. Let's get at it. All right, the first thing I want to do is get this shrimp seasoned so it'll sit a little bit while we get the vegetables prepped and all that. All right, so we're just going to do some salt, pepper, a little soy sauce, maybe a tablespoon, a little bit of sesame oil. And this is just a plain, but the toasted will work fine either way. All right, now we want to make sure the shrimp is coated good with that. All right, now we want to put one egg white. So we're just going to put the white and all right, now we want to just coat the shrimp in that egg white. All right, now we want to add about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. We'll use that again when we thicken our sauce. All right, so we just want to coat the shrimp and that egg white and the starch. And then we're just going to set this to the side, let it sit and marinate for a little bit while we prep the vegetables. All right, we got the shrimp all ready to sit and marinate while we prep the vegetables, but I also want to get my serving dishes over here on the toaster oven so they'll warm up. I've got a couple of store-bought egg rolls that I'm going to cook while we get the shrimp and broccoli ready. So let's get these vegetables prepped and then we'll be ready to start cooking. All right, our minced garlic is already ready, of course. So now we need to get our broccoli boiling so we can let it cool down. So we're going to go ahead and Get the broccoli in this water. Leave a little stem. I'm just going to boil this for 2 minutes until it's done and then get it off the stove. Alright, now we're going to chop up our mushrooms. Like I said, now the carrot, I've already cut some slices in it, put about 5 in it, and then we're going to cut those kind of thin, a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch. We got our carrots. See how they got a little pinwheel look to them. Alright, we're going to lay this on its axis, cut it, and then just man, it's a hot one today. It was at least 98 degrees in the shade. Should be making ice cream instead of shrimp and broccoli. Alright, got our vegetables prepped, got our garlic right here. We're ready to start cooking. Alright, we got our vegetables chopped up, prepped, ready to go. We got our shrimp ready to go. Man, let's start cooking. We're going to start with heating this skillet up good and hot. I'm going to put it on about 7 or 8, get it good and hot. And let's add some oil. We're going to go ahead, we're going to do the vegetable oil first. We just want to go around. And then we'll hit it with these toasted sesame oil. Alright, our broccoli's been boiling right at 2 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off. Broccoli's done. Alright, we got our oil hot. You can see a little smoke coming off of it. We got our broccoli drained and cooling. Let's add this shrimp. We're going to cook the shrimp until they're just done. Alright, we just got to keep these shrimp turning. Now, these shrimp I had they weren't called jumbo, they were called colossal. They are pretty big. I started to cut them in half, but they just ain't as pretty when they're cut down. Just keep cooking them and rolling them. Alright, the shrimp are done, so we want to get them out of there and leave as much oil as we can. So some good dudes. Alright, now we got the shrimp out of there, we want to go ahead and add our vegetables. So medium-high heat. I'm going to start out at about 6. Yeah, I wish I had some fresh garlic, but I didn't today. So it'll taste almost as good. Alright, now we want to get these vegetables in here. I always like to put the onions and the carrots on the bottom. Alright, we're going to let these cook in that oil for a few minutes and get tender. Alright, our vegetables are coming along pretty good. I'm going to put a lid on it just to kind of speed it up a little bit. Alright, the vegetables are looking real good. They're almost there. We're going to let them cook for a few more minutes. Alright, our vegetables are getting pretty tender. I've been cooking the vegetables for about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and add the chicken broth. Now, if you can get your hands on some seafood stock, or you can use vegetable stock, but chicken broth works good. But if I had some seafood stock, I could use it, but it's hard to find this time of year. So we got our chicken broth. We're going to turn the heat up and get it back to boiling. So we got our chicken broth in there, and we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. Salt, pepper, and some oyster flavored sauce. We're going to add about 3 tablespoons. About 3 tablespoons of oyster flavored sauce. And we're just going to let that heat back up and simmer. I'm going to let it simmer uncovered so it'll reduce a little bit. Alright, our vegetables are simmering good. We've got just a few more minutes and we'll be ready to thicken this sauce up and finish her up. Alright, our vegetables have been simmering here for about 6 or 7 minutes. It's reduced just a little bit. It's not a lot, but it just helps enhance the flavor. So we're going to take about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. We'll get a little cold water, a little cold tap water. Alright, and we're just going to stir this up real good till it gets nice and smooth like milk. You can just feel it clumped all up on the bottom while you're stirring it, but just keep stirring it. That was the timer on my egg rolls. Everything's coming together just right. The egg rolls are done, the plates are warm. We're fixing to thicken this up. Add the broccoli if I can ever get it stirred up. Yep, I'm making a mess. Alright, there we go. And little spot in there. You can just feel it down in there, not stirred up, just being clumpy. But just keep working with it, and it'll. Yeah, it's all good and smooth now. All right, now as I've said before, once we pour this starch in there, you want to stir it almost immediately. So we're gonna put the starch in and stir. I'm just going to let that sit there. Cook for a minute. Yep, it's nice and thick. It pretty much thickens up instantly. All right, I'm gonna hit it with just a dash more salt. And we can go ahead and put our already cooked broccoli in. And we're just gonna coat that broccoli good. We're going to cover this for just a minute and let the broccoli heat up. All right, everything's looking really good. Looks like we're ready to plate this stuff. Broccoli's heated up in there. Get one of our warmed plates. We'll add a little rice. We add a little rice first. Now we're going to place some of these colossal shrimp on top, and maybe a couple of crumbs. Grab an egg roll. Well, there you have it. Dave's shrimp and broccoli. Man, this is really good stuff. I know I keep saying that, but it just is. Shrimp and broccoli. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching. And most of all, I hope you enjoy the food. Once again, I'm David Thornton. This is At Home Fine Eating. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.